That's right, I'm wearing the same thing that I wore in the last video, and it's only because I'm filming this back to back like a Drake song. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to do something that I haven't got a chance to do in a long time, it feels like, and that is share a prison-related news story with you guys. And the story that I'm getting ready to share with you guys today, I feel like is one that definitely needs to be shared. I think that this is a really interesting story. I think you guys are going to find this pretty interesting, and I think that it's going to make for a really interesting video. The word of the day, folks, interesting. I don't know of any other states that are still allowing this to take place in the prison system, not in the state system, not in the federal system. In county jails, in city jails, they do offer something kind of like this, but not in every single place. What I'm talking about, folks, is smoking. I think it was back in 2009, 2010, somewhere right around there. I think it was 2009, in fact. Here in the state of Virginia, I know it was 2009, and I think in most states, 2009, they stopped selling and allowing cigarettes to be smoked by prisoners. And I cannot, for the life of me, remember exactly what the reason was. I think every state had a different reason. Here in the state of Virginia, I can't remember. You know, we've done videos about this in the past, and I'm pretty sure it was something about health concerns, and they don't want prisoners getting cancer or starting fires. I can't remember exactly what it was. If you've got any information on that, please comment down below and let me know. Maybe you know about your state and why they stopped smoking, but pretty much every state in the United States, the prison system, state and federal, does not allow smoking. They all stopped it. Also, if you know of a state that still allows smoking and never stopped it, let us know as well. I think that would be pretty interesting to know. But it was just recently a major story broke out of a state that I think has been in the prison news spotlight for quite some time for pretty much mostly negative stuff. And in fact, I think it was last year or earlier this year that this state had so much violence taking place down in this state. I think it had a really horrible prison down there. I can't remember exactly what the name of it is, but I'm pretty sure it was in this state, the state of Mississippi. Shout out to Mississippi. I ain't got nothing but love for Mississippi. That's where my wife is from. I've been there. It's a beautiful state. It's very laid back down there, but their prison system, just like most other states down there in the South, Louisiana, at one point, maybe they still are, being the highest rate per capita of incarceration of any state here in the U.S. Alabama, horrible prison system. Florida, rough prison system. Mississippi, rough and horrible prison system. Louisiana, Angola state prison. Prison rodeos, for God's sakes, making a mockery of prisoners. Like, when you think of being locked up down in the South, all that ever comes to my mind is that Martin Lawrence movie, Life. That's what I think about when I think about being locked up down in the South. It's not very often that you hear of good story in relation to something good and beneficial for the prisoners. But today, all of that changes because I'm getting ready to share with you guys this story right here with a headline that says, it's not a book, Joe. You don't got to lick your fingers to turn the page. Oh, Corona. I've actually got to look the story up. I had it right. There it is. Bung! MDOC to allow inmates to use tobacco products in prison again. MDOC, the Mississippi Department of Corrections. Folks, this story just broke 2 days prior to Christmas. Jackson, Mississippi. Inmates in Mississippi prison will soon be allowed to legally buy and use tobacco products in prison facilities for the first time in 10 years. Why? All of a sudden are we backtracking and allowing prisoners to smoke again? Why, in the first place, did we stop it? Do you know that throughout the country, in every state that stopped smoking, there were either riots or protests, or they were on the verge of riots and protests for taking away tobacco products from prisoners? You say that you're taking it away possibly for health concern reasons. Prisoners sometimes just don't care. But what about the prisoners that don't smoke? Man, let me tell you something. Back in 2008, the very first time that I went to prison, now mind you, in the state of Virginia, 2009, they stopped smoking. But back in 2008, the first time that I went there, they still wore. Joe was smoking hella cigarettes, 2 at the same damn time. Boy, I'm in prison smoking Newports. God, I can taste the cancer. I've quit smoking for the second time. I'm 3+ months. It was 3 months when I relapsed after the first time. I'm 3+ months this time, and I feel great. One of the new guys I work with smokes around me every day. and I only vaguely want to ask him for a cigarette, but I haven't smoked. Why did I share that? That had nothing to do with, oh yeah. The first time that I went to prison and they were smoking hella cigarettes. You got smoking sections, you got smoking cell blocks. One of the questions they would ask you when you got to prison was, do you smoke? It was almost like checking into a hotel. Do you want a smoking or non-smoking room? Because they would try to pair you with somebody who either smoked or didn't smoke. Because can you imagine being a prison? Most all prisoners are going to say, hell yeah, I smoke, coming out the jail where you can't smoke. Just to get in a cell with a dude that does and has already been to commissary. Yo, you got another cigarette every time they light up. Hey, can I get that short? Have you ever heard of a prison short, a jail short? You're smoking a cigarette butt. If you smoke crack out here in the free world, you know all about a prison or jail cigarette short. You're picking them up off of the ground. Stop doing drugs. Good piece to include with this video. But anyways, when I first got to prison, the whole point of the story that I want to share with you guys is when I got to where I was going, I was in prison with a cellmate who smoked. I was worrisome as hell when I got there. Yo, can I get a cigarette? Can I get a pack of cigarettes? I'll buy you 2 packs when I go to the store. Yeah, I got money. First time I went to prison, I did. I did have money. Daddy was sending me money. Daddy did send that. But anyways, when I got to where I was going, you got a smoking housing unit and a non-smoking housing unit. Now, people smoked in both. They didn't care if it was non-smoking. When it locked down at nighttime, dudes were smoking by the toilet, trying to hide it, and the guards didn't care. Smoking, blowing it out the window, because you could open your window at this soft-ass level 1 that I was at, but it was sweet. But you go on to the smoking side, and my God, you walked into this joint, and it was like a Charlie Brown pig pen situation. Like all you saw was the cloud of dust, except it wasn't a cloud of dust, it was smoke. This joint was smoked out. They hotboxed this housing unit all day, every day. And then you would have dudes up in there who couldn't afford to smoke. They'd be going through the ashtray, picking out the butts and rolling little, oh God. Smoking in prison was just a nasty thing. And then fast forward to the next time that I went to prison. I got to prison in 2010. It was in 2009 that they stopped smoking. I've been locked up since the end of 2008. But Joe, you were in prison the first time in 2008. That was the beginning of 2008. By the end of 2008, I had already gotten released and locked back up again after 8 months. I know, Joe was not very good back in the day. Anyways, the second time that I got to prison, it was illegal. It was contraband. You could not smoke. So prisoners were going out, and I was on a different level 1. Prisoners were going out on them road crews, coming back with pounds of the tobacco tied to their and then, you ever smoked some tobacco? Why does joint taste like some sweaty And then when the tobacco would get knocked off because the major who ran this institution thought that he was a Navy SEAL and he was for reals, dude had a tree stand, a deer cam, and he was out there posted up at all the job sites waiting for your pen pal to come drop something off. I've seen girls get tricked up and get 5 years for dropping off the pack, all because you want to smoke. That's whack. That was a bar right there. But when the pack would get tore off and dudes couldn't get the tobacco in anymore, where we were out in Bumpkin, Virginia. I mean, we were way out west. And all out west ain't nothing but tobacco fields. Dudes were bringing in tobacco stalks like we're freaking, I was going to say Indians, but I don't want that to sound bad. Like dudes were bringing in whole tobacco leaves. Now, I don't know what they do at Marlboro versus what you do with a pure leaf off of a tobacco plant. Dudes will bring this joint in, microwave it, crumble it up, put that thing in some tissue paper, roll it up, and you hit that thing one time, you get your damn top knocked off. That shit was so strong. Oh, God. You get third-degree cancer just from one pull. But ironically, in the beginning, when I first got to the level 1, the second time, and mind you, I got there at the beginning of 2010. It was 2009 when they outlawed tobacco in the state of Virginia like they did in most all other states. The guards didn't care. They would walk through, and I mean, it would be cloudy and smoky and hazy in there. I mean, you couldn't help but to smell the tobacco, and they just didn't care. By the end of the time that I spent there, I think I only spent like 8 months there. By the end of it, they started cracking down on it a lot more. And in fact, that's part of why I ended up getting in trouble and getting shipped off of there, because somebody was smoking. Guard thought it was me. I bucked on dude, had the do-rag tied super tight, and he didn't find the tobacco. He found a tattooing kit, and then he found some ibuprofens that weren't issued to me. I bought them, and I got a drug charge for some Tylenol. And got shipped up off of there, went to a level 2, and my time was even sweeter, but crazy. How much shit changed when they outlawed smoking in prison. And now Mississippi is the first state that I'm hearing of that's getting ready, or is probably already has, begun to let prisoners smoke again. Can you imagine what prisoners down in Mississippi are feeling like? Stress-free, loving life, and can you imagine being locked up in any other state hearing about this? And you super mad. You're trying to get you an interstate compact. What's it called? It's not called an interstate compact. What's it called when you go, oh God, a conjunction, something, when you can actually request to get shipped to another state. You got to pay. I think you got to pay like thousands of dollars, but you can request to go to another state to serve your time. I cannot remember what that's called. I'm going to do a video on that. That's a really crazy thing that you probably never knew nothing about. I just remembered it. Long story short, prisoners down in Mississippi, they're living the dream, high on the hog, getting their head blown off with that first drag of that cigarette. Ooh, boy, I'm higher than the devil's lettuce right now, and this is legal again. Why? The biggest question as to why prisoners are being allowed to smoke again, you may wonder, and it's for the tax money. The story goes on to say, according to the MDOC officials, the change will take place February the 1st. February the 1st. There's going to be a lot, they're going to sell out of cigarettes. But they also say the commissioner for MDOC said this will be a positive change not only for the inmates, but also for taxpayers. Inmates who smoke are smoking anyways, said the commissioner, but they're having to smuggle the tobacco in to do it, which is illegal. And it's even more illegal because the state law prohibits smoking in state buildings. That compromises our corrections officers and staff and puts them at risk to either break the law by allowing smoking or to put themselves in danger by enforcing the rule. Catch a dude smoking and try to write him up down in Mississippi where they go super hard, or take away his tobacco, you're going to have you some problems. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow. I'm trying to remember how Rick Grimes was talking to Negan. It might not be today, might not be tomorrow, but I'm going to kill you. Oh. Damn, why can't them Walking Dead movies hurry up and come out? Yo, hit the like button right there for that Joe Guerrero cameo with Rick Grimes. We're going to do some Walking Dead skits real soon. I just need the hat. Don't let me get that hat. I already got the bat. Joe be feeling real Negan-ish at times. Negan is here. I like that guy. I actually follow him on Twitter. I can't remember his name. It's Jeffrey something. By selling the same cigarettes that are allowed to free people, we are breaking the contraband tobacco trade, designating smoking areas outside and clearing the air inside for the majority of inmates who don't smoke, reducing inmate contraband violations and recouping for taxpayers some of the dollars it takes to run prisons. If this isn't the most genius thing coming to us out of Mississippi, all states open your arms and your doors again to selling cigarettes to the prisoners. Think about the tax money you could make, and my God, what if? It's already becoming legal in a lot of states. What if the devil's lettuce makes its way up into the prison system? Can you imagine being high, locked up? You ever looked at the back of a $20 bill on crack? I can't remember how that movie reenactment scene goes. The profits from the tobacco sales will fund MDOC's reentry program by buying simulators and computer programs to teach parole-eligible men and women inmates the skills for truck driving, welding, backhoe operation, caterpillar and dragline operations, and in oil and pipeline work. The tobacco sales will also fund more remedial courses so inmates can achieve a high school diploma, passing the high-set high school equivalency test, and begin some college work. Whoa! I was about to wrap this up, but I just ran across the ending of this that says Mississippi will not be the only state allowing prison inmates to use tobacco on facility grounds. According to the American Non-Smokers' Rights Foundation and other websites, 27 other state correctional departments, including New York, California, and Illinois, allow smoking outdoors on prison grounds, with 15 also allowing the use of other tobacco products. Oh, so it kind of sounds like they never even stopped smoking in the first place. Or maybe they did and they're getting ready to start again. I don't necessarily know, but this is big. You think about all the taxpayer money that gets tied up in the prison system. How much money does it cost to house a person per year while in prison? It's cheaper to send a person to rehab than it is to send a person to prison. Some would say, hey, here's a great idea. Let's let them start smoking again, and we can use that tax money from them cigarettes to do great things like college courses and teach prisoners trades so that they can come home and potentially be a productive member of society. I had mentioned earlier in this video that, there are some local jails around here that allow the smokeless devices, the pens or the vapes. It's crazy to think that tobacco got outlawed in the state system, but in, the counties, in the jails, some places were still allowing that to take place. Folks, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up on that note. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment letting me know exactly what you thought about this video. And as always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world, never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!